Week 18 predictions. Last week, I was on fire. Let's see if I can keep it up. Starting with Ravens versus Browns. The Ravens are fighting for the AFC North, and the Browns are fighting for the top pick. The Browns have been really disappointing this season. The Ravens at times have looked really good, but then they've looked really bad at the same time. But I think they'll be fine against the Browns. Ravens win. 27-10. Bengals versus Steelers. Huge playoff implications for both teams. Steelers are already in, looking to secure the division. Bengals on the outside looking in, and I think the Bengals continue their hot streak and beat the Steelers. Bengals win 31-23. Saints versus Bucks. If the Bucks win, they win the division and make the playoffs. Saints are fighting for draft position. Bucks win 17-14. Bills versus Patriots. The Bills already secured the second seed, and they're probably going to rest their starters. They might play like a drive or two, but nothing more than that. Patriots, if they lose, I'm pretty sure they get the first overall pick. Bills just have a better roster in general. Bills win 24-20. Jaguars versus Colts. Colts was eliminated from the playoffs last week. Jaguars are fighting for the top pick. Colts win 13-10. Texans versus Titans. The Texans are looking to bounce back after a terrible loss versus the Ravens on Christmas. And the team they're going against, the Tennessee Titans, have looked absolutely terrible this season. So I believe they bounce back. Texans win 23-3. Panthers versus Falcons. A Falcons win and a Bucks loss puts Atlanta in the playoffs. But first they need to beat the Panthers, which I think they do. Falcons win 27-17. Commanders versus Cowboys. The Commanders already solidified their playoff spot. They're either the 6th or the 7th seed. They can't move up any further. I don't see them playing their starters that much. So, Cowboys win 24-21. Giants versus Eagles. The story of this game coming into it was Saquon and a rushing record. But since he's being benched, and presumably everybody else being benched, I don't have much to say. Eagles win 21-14. Bears versus Packers. Just like with the Commanders, they have their playoff spot solidified, and I don't foresee them playing their starters the entire game, but I still think they'll win. Packers win 31-17. Dolphins versus Jets. A win for the Dolphins plus a loss for the Broncos puts them in the playoffs. But first, they need to beat the Jets, which shouldn't be too hard. Dolphins win 17-14. Chiefs versus Broncos. Chiefs are resting their starters. Broncos win and they're in. But don't sleep on Carson Wentz. Chiefs win 27-24. Chargers versus Raiders. Chargers have their playoff spot solidified. Probably not going to play the starters all that much this week. Raiders are fighting for a top pick. Chargers win 19-13. 49ers versus Cardinals. Both teams are eliminated from the playoffs. Neither of them are fighting for a top pick either. Basically just for bragging rights. 49ers win 31-28. Seahawks versus Rams. Rams already won the division. They're resting their starters. Seahawks should win, and I think they do. Seahawks win 27-24. And the final game of Week 18, battle for the number 1 seed in the NFC, Vikings versus Lions. I have the Minnesota Vikings win 37-34. And those are my Week 18 predictions. Do you agree? Let me know in the comments below.